Here is a curse that haunt the history of industry and innovation. We call it dilemma of first in class. It is a psychological gravity that pulls at pioneers. The moment they achieve greatness, it is the arrogance of the first mover. Henry Ford owned the world until he insisted on the black paint only. Thomas Edison lit up America, but his obsession with the direct current blinded him to the future, and he was eventually erased from the very company that bore his name. Every first mover make the same mistake. They look at the future through the rearview mirror. They chase yesterday's win, protect the product, and miss the system forming around it. By the time they look forward, the road has already changed the lanes, while the follower ahead is already running a new race.
There's competitors now ramping up, and as you're familiar with BYD, which is also on the West Coast, I think they're ramping up production of their electric vehicles. Warren Buffett owns 10% stake in that. Why do you laugh? BYD is trying to compete. Why do you laugh?
Have you seen their car?
I have seen their cars, yes. In fact, at the Berkshire Hathaway meeting, I saw their cars.
Yeah.
Well, they're on a different, tell me why you're laughing. You don't see them at all as a competitor?
No.
Why is that? I mean, they offer a lower price point.
I don't think they have a great product.
Why is that?
To understand how BYD won, we have to go back to the beginning. Shenzhen 1995. A decade before Tesla started, a young chemist named Wan Shanfu was looking single AA battery. He didn't dream sexy car. He was solving a gritty manual problem. How do you make energy cheaper? While others brought expensive precision machine from Japan, Van couldn't afford them, so he built his own. All of them. He didn't just build the product, he built the tool that built the product. BYD wasn't born as a car company. It was born as a battery fortress. 2003, the battery company grows deep. For $35 million, BYD buy Xi'an's Hunan Automobile. It was a failing, state-owned relic. Investor panic. The stock plummeted 21% in 3 days. Wall Street screamed that battery maker had no business building engines. But Wang wasn't buying a car company. He was buying a manufacturing license. But the cars were ghosts of Toyotas. Wang knew to win the copycat needed face. He didn't just iterate, he integrated. He hired designer from Audi, Lamborghini, and he began making his own chips, his own seats, his own mirror. When the global supply chain snapped in 2021, The world stopped. BYD didn't. They owned the China. For over 100 years, the internal combustion engine was untouchable titan of industry. It wasn't just a technology, it was century-old religion. And by 2011, Silicon Valley startup was about to commit hearsay. At the time, Tesla was a ghost in a machine, a struggling startup with just $204 million in revenue and zero new model on the road. Then in 2012 came the Model S, like a lightning bolt shattering the golf car stigma with 0 to 100 km/h sprint in 4.2 seconds. Suddenly, the heretic was the benchmark. But the true disruption requires scale. By 2070, mania reached a fever pitch. In a display of unprecedented mass psychology, 400,000 people stood in a global line for Model 3, betting on a vision they hadn't even touched. To survive the demand, Tesla entered a brutal production hell, burning $3.4 billion in capital that year to build the future in real time. The gamble was historic. By early 2020, Tesla crossed the monumental threshold of 1 million total car produced, providing skeptics wrong. The J curve had officially exploded, taking revenue from merely $430 million in 2012 to nearly $95 billion by 2025. Tesla realized an electric vehicle is only as effective as its ecosystem. While rivals waited for government infrastructure, Tesla pursued radical vertical integration. By launching proprietary Supercharger network and building massive Gigafactory, they brought nearly 80% of production in-house, from batteries to software. This strategy wasn't just efficient, it was a survival tactic. Owning the entire supply chain allowed Tesla to bypass bottleneck that paralyzed competitor. While the other waited for parts, Tesla was already building the future. The doctrine of the adaptive cost collapse. Power in its most lethal form never announced itself. It waited, buried deep in the geology of time, until pressure became the destiny. By 2018, the world looked at BYD and saw a sundown empire, a structure held upright by subsidized chivalry as artificial warmth receded. Analysts catalog it as a case study in obsolescence, not a threat, a warning. Then the air disappeared. Beijing cut the silver umbilical cord without ceremony. Margin didn't compress, they vaporized. And 83% collapse in a single quarter, a free fall. So violent, it felt civilizational. Tesla owned the mythology of tomorrow. CATL owned the chemistry of today. BYD owned nothing except ground beneath its feet. The Catfish and the Crucible. In 2019, history constructed a crucible. China unbolted the gates and invited apex predator inside. The great white shark. Tesla was granted keys of Shanghai, not as a guest, but sovereign force. The world call it as a funeral, a final abandonment of domestic champion. They were wrong. There is an ancient truth. A fish left unchallenged grows soft, its muscle dissolve. But drop a starving catfish into a tank and the ecosystem awakens. Tesla was not invited to build the cars. Tesla was invited to become a terror, innovate or swing. Excalibur, the re-engineering of the soul. Tesla, the predator, built Shanghai Gigafactory in record 168 working days. 2019, before the blade, was the even a name. Tesla was already pivoting to conquer the Chinese market. They abandoned their traditional NCSL for high-stake evolution. NCM 811, nickel, cobalt, magnesium batteries. The Predator moves with surgical elegance. BYD vanishes into bunker of molecular ambition. They understood you do not defeat the speed by accelerating, you defeat it by redefining the motion. They stopped chasing the market, they chase the atom. A new biology emerged. BYD recognized that most dangerous organism is the one that controls the food chain. 2020 entered the blade. Blade threw the boxes away. They flattened the battery into long singular blades that act as a structural beam for the car. The nail test was the declaration of independence. A nail pierces a standard battery. It explodes. The nail pierces the BYD blade. No smoke, no fire.
The blade? Nothing. No smoke. No fire.
This wasn't just
Barely
the battery.
60 degrees Celsius.
It was a white flag from the rest of the industry. While legacy automaker outsource 70% of their cars, BYD manufactures 70% of the seal entirely in-house. They are not just assembling the cars, they growing them. One by one, the giant came to Shenzhen. Today, the Tesla Model Y rolling off the lines in Gigafactories run on BYD blade batteries. The visionary is now a customer of the chemist. The hierarchy has inverted. In 2024, adaptive prey finally stuck, generating $107 billion in revenue, officially eclipsing Tesla's $97.7 billion. By end of 2025, the gap became canyon. BYD delivered staggering 4.6 million vehicles, including 2.26 million pure EVs, while Tesla delivered a slide 1.64 million, a 9% decline annually. BYD did not defeat the Predator in a race. It outgrew concept of racing. It became the ocean, the salt pressure. History obeys the final law. First predator wins the moment, but the adaptive prey wins the era. The prey did not escape the predator. The prey became the bias. History has a pattern. Pioneer change how we think. Builder control the fuel. By 2025, the world witnessed a historic transfer of power. For the first time, BYD didn't just compete with Tesla. It eclipsed them. BYD now owns its own lithium mines in Africa. They own massive cargo ship. They carry the car across the ocean. Elon Musk once joked,
Trying to compete. Why do you laugh?
Have you
Today.
seen their car?
I have
You see
seen your
them.
car, yes.
everywhere. Bangkok taxis, London buses, supercar in Berlin Street. Tesla made electric car cool. BYD made them inevitable. One sparked the future, the other owns the supply chain. This isn't a rivalry. It's a transfer of power. The race didn't end. It just moved inside the factory.